Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgie Man, and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Chainsaw Man chapter 182. So, what did I think about this very shocking, very fantastic chapter of Chainsaw Man? Honestly, I absolutely loved it. I think I would go as far as to say that this is one of the best chapters in the entirety of part 2, and I would even take it a step farther by saying it's one of the best chapters in the series thus far, because I think the character development that we got between Asa and Denji was phenomenal, as well as the realization of Denji's past traumas coming back to, reflect on him, and him realizing, like, you know what, like, I always make the same mistakes, and it's always because of my, my filthy mind, and, I gotta overcome this. And I think that in this week's chapter, he was able to overcome a big issue that he's had for the entirety of the series, which I really, really appreciated. Now, before I go any further with this week's chapter, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Chainsaw Man, as well as all my anime and manga content that I'm providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really, really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's chapter. So this week's chapter starts off right where we left off last time, which was obviously Yoru kissing Denji, and that whole awkward interaction that we had where, I personally was like, oh no, Yoru, stop doing my man dirty, please. And if you saw my last chapter review, I was saying that, I really hope that Denji, steps up and is like, dude, leave me alone. Like, stop. You cannot just solve everything from, like, kissing. And you do see that because Denji, he snaps back and like, dude, what are you doing? Like, let me go. Like, why you kiss me? And, Yoru was like, oh, because you were cute. And I love this panel. I thought this panel was hilarious. Just Yoru kind of being all shy. Like, oh, I thought you were cute. You look cute when you're crying. And it's like, oh my God, Yoru. Like, my girl is she's something else, all right? But an interesting thing was that, as she's saying all of this, is like, hey, listen, like, calm down. Let's figure a plan together. Because you crying is not going to solve anything. So, like, let's come up with something and let's just find a way to get out of here. So what we see is also that, this Denji, he's had enough. Like, my man's gone through enough. And you see him as she tries to kiss him again, or she does kiss him again, because, she's like, you look so cute when you're crying. He pushes her off, and I popped off. Like, I was like, yo, that's my man's, that's my goat, that's my man Denji. It reminded me of that meme, like, be gone, thought. Like, I love that was hilarious. I was like, you know what, this is great character development for Denji, because he had been, for the most part, always, falling for these same tricks, letting his urges overtake him, and not listening to the proper head that he should be listening to. And this week's chapter really showcased, like, no, he took his step forward, and he was like, no, I can't make the same mistakes. And I love how he's like, every time my mind gets all, wild up, and, people getting in my life, trying to, like, get these urges for me, I'm just like, I get all dumb and I make all these mistakes, and these mistakes, cost me a lot. And yeah, they do. I mean, look at everything that he's gone through. I mean, even with stuff with either Fumiko, Himeno, I mean, the list goes on and on. Reese, Makima, anytime all his sexual urges had been like, or he's had anything that, like, any kind of dream where it came down to, like, getting off, it really, he just got played. And, he wants to stop suffering this, endless cycle for him of just being played and used, and, not thinking things straight, not being able to look back and being like, maybe that wasn't the right idea. Maybe I wasn't thinking right. And I think that him owning up to that was fantastic in this week's chapter, and I loved it. And as he's saying all of this, Denji's like, I can't get over it. Like, it sucks. Like, it's like all the mistakes I've had, it's hard to get over them. And, Yoru proceeds to be like, you know what? I can relate to that. I've been through, I had a couple of, people I left down, just like you, because you brought up that you let people down because of these mistakes in the past. I've done that in the past. But you know what? You can get over it because I believe in you. And I was like, oh my God, you're the worst. You give the worst advice. Like, I was like, this is the most ungenuine, like, way to advise somebody. Like, hey, things are rough, but they'll get better, bro. Get over it. I was like, oh no, Yoru, you suck, man. Like, you suck giving advice. Just stop yapping. But what was great about this was that as this is happening, you see out of nowhere, Yoru punch herself. And that was obviously the significance, like the symbolism of, Asa taking back over her body. And this was what the real, like the real emotional stuff of the chapter was really kicking to the higher gear, where we see that pretty much Asa is opening up to Denji, which is something that I and myself and many other people in the fandom have been wanting to, a conversation between these two, owning up and like talking to each other about like their past traumas. And I thought that was beautiful, because we see that Asa is talking to Denji and she's like, you know what, I've suffered a lot. And she goes and explains to Denji her backstory, involving her mom, and how during a devil fight, the devil happened to kill her mom because her mom was saving her from this disaster, and she died because she tripped and she was clumsy, and she always blames herself for it, and it's something that even up to this day in the story she still blames herself for it. And it's she's like, it's not easy getting over it. And then Denji's like, but like, okay, how did you get over it? It's like, that's the thing, you don't really get over it, you just kind of have to like deal with living with it. And that was such a real quote. Like, I was like, yo, I think we can all say that. I think I can probably say for all of us, we relate to that quote to some extent. Like, in the sense that, things might happen in your past and you might not be able to, fully overcome those set things that have happened, but you have to live with them and, understand that, these things happen, and now you got to move forward. And I think that, the message that Asa was giving to Denji was like really well done. I think Fujimoto was really, really good at it. I thought it was a phenomenal way for him to execute this chapter. And how this proceeds to go on, she goes and also tells Denji, like, my life was terrible, but then I saw this Chainsaw Man and I saw that he had a dream, and he had a will to live, even though after all the terrible things that have happened to him. And that made me be like, you know what, I can deal with the crap burger that I'm dealing. I can withstand this. I can do it. And as she's saying all of this, you see also Denji, I don't know where, you see him start throwing up. And I was like, what's going on? And he throws up like a devil. And as soon as he throws this devil out, it starts snowing again. And my idea and my whole reasoning behind this is because I didn't read the previous chapters again. I haven't reread them in a while. But I believe when Pochita was eating devils, I believe he ate the snow devil. So I'm assuming that once Denji threw up the snow devil, the snow started spawning in like it did in this chapter. Once he throws it up, I see snow everywhere. And this devil was like weird. Honestly, it looked like a piece of sushi. I was like, what the heck is this? A little wonky design. I was like, what is this? But it's also fascinating because you see that Denji starts throwing up. And I'm wondering, is it because his notions are coming back to him? Like, and what I mean by that or his past traumas he has to confront them. And what I mean by that exactly is because as he throws up the snow, you see Asa being like, it's snowing. And then Denji is like, snow. And as he says that, Fujimoto absolutely hits us all with a big, he stabs all of us in the heart by this panel, which I'll put right now, of, the back of Aki and Powers. This is the back of them. You don't see their faces or anything, but you just see a silhouette of the two of them from their back perspective. And not gonna lie, I literally had my jaw open when I saw that. My jaw dropped. I was like, oh my god, like, is Denji really gonna relive his past? But this time, is he gonna get some closure? And I'm wondering if this is gonna be like a hallucination, in the sense that it's definitely not like the real Aki or Power, but it's like a mental thing of his. Or is it actually gonna be like the Agent Devil being like, you know what, I can age people up, like, or is it like something along the lines like maybe the Death Devil or something of their souls? Is it actually the old Power and the old Aki that he's gonna talk to and get some closure, being like, hey man, thank you for being a good friend, a brother, like, I love you guys and I miss you guys. Like, man, just thinking about it, I'm getting emotional. As you can tell by my eyes, I'm getting a little red, because I'm like, man, that would be such a beautiful thing, like, for Denji to actually have some closure and give, apologize to them and just give them a sayonara, a final goodbye. And I'm very excited where the next chapter goes, because this chapter was absolutely fantastic. And I think I can speak for everyone that I think it was great. I think this is one of the best chapters in the series, and I will stand by that point till the day this series ends. But with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Chainsaw Man, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Also, one last thing to note, don't forget to vote if you haven't yet. If you live in the States, vote. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.